This time on Monkey Life. Hsiao-Ning arrives in Rostock, but not all goes according to plan.
It hasn't been a positive introduction because Hsiao-Ning didn't behave nicely.
Reluctant Miri gets left on the shelf.
She could sulk all day, all night. Tomorrow, who knows?
And it's party time for the boisterous bachelors. Monkey World, tucked deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate neglected and abused primates from all over the world.
Next stop, Monkey World in Hananya's group, so really pleased she's going to have a family of her own.
The park provides a home for more than 240 monkeys and apes, and the aim is to give them as natural a life as possible. Jeremy and Lewis are making their way from Monkey World in Dorset to Rostock Zoo in Germany. They're travelling 800 miles and making frequent stops along the way to check their precious cargo. On board are orangutan Hsiao-Ning
You're a good girl, aren't you?
and Miri, who's come from Twycross Zoo accompanied by her keeper Tanya. The two primates are about to start a new life in Germany.
It really has been a perfect journey so far. We've had no hitches or disasters or anything.
Rostock is situated on North Germany's Baltic coast. It's a large industrial city with a major port. Since the devastation of the Second World War, its old historic centre has been faithfully rebuilt. There's been a zoo in Rostock for over a century, but thanks to massive investment, there have been huge renovations in recent years. The finishing touches are being put to a brand new purpose-built centre for apes, and this will be Hsiao-Ning and Miri's stylish new home. As part of the European Endangered Species breeding programme, they'll join a young male orangutan to form a new adult group. Sabas is ready to start his own family, and they're hoping he and the girls will take a liking to each other.
We are very excited because Sabas, at the moment, he's 8 years old, and it's time for him now to leave the group. And so, as we heard that Hsiao-Ning is coming, we were very happy because we think it will be very fine when they are together here in this new house.
The keepers in Rostock are eager to get a look at the new arrivals. After 17 hours in the van, Hsiao-Ning's ready to stretch her legs. To everyone's relief, she's been remarkably content throughout the journey.
She's very, very calm. She's just very confused, but to be honest, I was expecting her to be really nervous and anxious and maybe angry, but she's not. She's just very confused.
They need to get both girls out of their crates and into a bedroom as quickly as possible. They've never shared the same space before, so their introduction will have to be handled carefully. Whilst the team put Hsiao-Ning into a bedroom, her prospective mate Sabas is kept at the other end of the building with his family. He has no idea that tomorrow he'll be coming face to face with two beautiful young ladies.
She's all safe. We don't want to let her out and she just walks past here. Okie dokes, all right, if we push to the door now.
There's every chance Hsiao-Ning will be very angry at being cooped up for so long, so they're doing all they can to keep her calm.
Lewis opens the door, I'll go and say hello to her as she comes through. You ready? Yeah, go for it.
Hsiao-Ning makes her way in very cautiously.
Hello, gorgeous. Hello, sweetheart. Come on, sweetheart.
She's just watching.
The thinking monkey, that one. She's got all this lot weighed up.
Jeremy has known Hsiao-Ning since she was born at Monkey World in 2003. Unfortunately, she was rejected by her mother, Roro, and was hand-reared by primate care staff until she graduated into the orangutan nursery. Jeremy followed her progress as she matured and made friends. But when she reached adolescence and the staff tried to integrate her into an adult group, she just didn't want to know. They'd hoped she would take a liking to dominant male Gordon, but she refused to let him anywhere near her, and she's gained herself quite a reputation.
Hsiao-Ning's a bit of a special individual, if you like. Now, you can never prove or know or tell whether that's because of the way she was brought up or the way she is. I mean, maybe Hsiao-Ning would have been exactly the same as she is now had she been mother-reared. Perhaps not. I think you could possibly class her as being like a spoilt brat. If I don't get my own way, then we're not doing it at all, and I'll thweem till I'm sick, which she used to be a lot worse at. The introductions we've done at Monkey World with her and stuff, she's had real temper tantrums. You don't pander to that.
But a year has passed since then, and now she's getting another chance.
I don't believe I know she is 100% better.
So far, Hsiao-Ning's behaving herself, but now they need to entice her into the neighbouring bedroom so that Miri, still waiting outside, can come into this one. They both need to settle in before meeting up.
Hsiao-Ning, baby, are you coming?
Lewis is optimistic, but Jeremy's learned a thing or two over the years. He knows how to get Hsiao-Ning to play ball.
If you shut me in, lock, yeah? Come on. Come on.
She's not giving in easily.
Wheel me. Come here.
Since he can't beat her, he joins her.
Come on. Good girl. Go down. Good girl. Here's a good girl.
Finally, she moves through. And Miri can be shown to her new home. Hsiao-Ning's finding her feet, and she's determined to give her travelling companion a welcome she won't forget in a hurry. She can't get back through the door, but she's making her presence felt. Not sure what's awaiting her, Miri is very wary.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hsiao-Ning's on the warpath. And the German team are very cautious about putting the two young ladies in the same room. But Jeremy can see the advantage of neutral ground.
As soon as somebody's decided that's their territory, then we're going backwards. But nobody's got a territory now, so everybody's looking for a friend, so it's the best time to do it right now, this minute.
Miri's keeper Tanya's not so sure. Miri may be acting coy, but she's no shrinking violet normally.
Naughty, likes to get her own way. Now she does temper tantrums. I'm hoping she's going to be a good girl now.
When the slide is opened, Miri very slowly enters Hsiao-Ning's domain. She wants to get to know her raucous roommate. It looks promising, but Hsiao-Ning takes up the dominant position at the outset. She's determined to assert herself. Miri's taken refuge on high.
She's covered herself up because she's upset, and she's tried to make friends, and Ning just wasn't having it. So now she's gone to sulk. She could sulk all day, all night, tomorrow. Who knows?
The two girls will be left overnight to get used to each other, and tomorrow they'll meet the third member of their new family, Sabas. Back at Monkey World, they're preparing for an exciting day at the Bachelor pavilions. For the last 6 weeks, the boys have had to vacate their playroom, ever since Sammy and the others started picking at the walls. The builders were brought in to carry out renovations and replace benches and shelves. The lads have had 24-hour access to their bedrooms in the big outside enclosure, but they've missed their playroom. Now the primate care staff are adding the finishing touches to make the reintroduction to it go smoothly. Outside in their brand new tunnel, the chimps can't contain their enthusiasm, especially fat Sammy, who knows there'll be some food going. High ranker Butch is among the first in. Ben is quick to show how big and strong he is.
They can be very noisy, the bachelors. But obviously, once they're excited, they start each other off, and it goes to levels where you cannot even think. It's so loud. I think just the extra space and the comfort that Pavilion provides is, you know, really obvious today.
After the first flush of delight, they spot the food.
We have put in a nice amount of everything so that everyone's got everything. We put some jelly balls, some yoghurt balls, we put in some peanuts, pellet, their veg diet, some fruit, lots of exciting things, but enough to spread around.
Even the low rankers have had a chance to get their share and enjoy being back in familiar territory.
It's a huge relief to have them back in so that we can get them in at night again, so that we know that when we leave that they are all nesting in the warm and, you know, that they're all safe and secure. Hopefully now having the extra room and everyone relaxing and back to their normal routine, then we'll see them all back to their normal selves.
At the Capuchin Lodge, Jenny's preparing the enclosure before Amy's group are allowed out into the trees. It'll be the first chance they've had to explore their new territory since yesterday's major house moves, and Jenny is making sure the boundaries are secure.
Very important that I check the fence properly and make sure that there's nothing that could cause an escape. Also, with all these lovely big trees, to make sure that there's not a jumping distance that a capuchin could actually get out on.
They think the active girls will really enjoy the extra room.
There's about 16 of them, and there's quite a lot of youngsters who we think will benefit from this nice wide open space and being able to sort of bounce around on the trees. We've also got quite a lot of girls that actually came from the wild as well, so it'll be a good mix of young and old, really. There's loads of lovely grass that they can forage around, and more worried about getting them in at the end of the day than anything else, really.
While the team are preparing the large enclosure for the girls, just behind the lodge, the geriatric boys are already out and about in the sunshine, getting to know their outside space. Today, they're getting their daily dose of vitamin C in juicy rose hips.
They eat pretty much anything they can get their hands on, so we do try and vary regularly what we give them in terms of fruit and vegetables. We plan their diet sort of days ahead so that they're not getting the same food every day, and then we vary the carbohydrates and the proteins that they get, and then there's sort of enrichment as well that we give.
But their interest in breakfast can't hold a pin to the girls' wild excitement as they spot those trees. Zoe hasn't been able to tree climb for over 20 years since she was stolen from the wild and kept in a laboratory, but she hasn't forgotten how it's done. In the blink of an eye, some are 60 feet high. Though getting down might be a different matter.
You know, they do problem solve quite quickly and find a way of getting down again. They're quite agile, so even if they sort of do have a little bit of a slip, they can generally recover and carry on without there being any problems. So I'm not worried about anyone, you know, coming to harm out there.
Boss lady Amy's eager to show the way.
Amy's a very friendly capuchin. She sort of rules more by presence than anything else. You don't often see her really telling anyone off unless they've really pushed the boundaries on her. Being dominant female, all the others seem to really look up to her and adore her. So, you know, she's very sort of cool and collected and confident and just goes about her business.
Less adventurous Lucy finds plenty to discover within her comfort zone.
To see them actually exploring and having such a good time, it has made a real sort of joy and a positive thing for us to think, you know, that they went through that slightly stressful time yesterday of moving up here. It's all been worthwhile for them. So, I couldn't have predicted them behaving this well and enjoying it as much as they are.
It's feeding time at Rostock Zoo. Hsiao-Ning and Miri have spent their first night together since arriving from the UK, and the keepers are anxious to see if they've survived unscathed. Hsiao-Ning's aggression seems to have faded.
When we came in the morning, everything was okay. They were both sleeping, not together, but everything was okay. They were calm. They feel better. You know, when you have something to eat, it's everything better. I think in some days they are friends and it's okay. I hope so.
This is outdoor enclosure and indoor enclosure. We're going.
With their charges in good hands, Jeremy, Lewis and Tanya are also up early. Curator Antje Zimmerman is showing them round the great ape enclosures. Hsiao-Ning and Miri's new home has every mod con. They've even recreated the humid conditions of the tropical forests that these apes originate from.
The total is around about 3,800 square meters.
Okay.
The gorillas have already made themselves at home.
Good boy. No, so don't stand too close, okay?
So far, just the gorillas have moved in. The race is on to get the orang enclosures completed.
Can't wait to see the outside now.
The outside enclosure will be an island surrounded by a moat with lots of natural trees, a wonderful forest home for the orangutans. Hsiao-Ning will be living in the lap of luxury, but all that depends on her being able to get along with a certain young man. This morning, Sabas has been separated from his family and moved closer to Hsiao-Ning and Miri in preparation for their introductions. Daniela is doing all she can to make things go smoothly.
I make some toys for the apes because in some hours we want to bring Miri, Sabas and Hsiao-Ning together. And so there's something indicates if there should be some aggression. I don't think so. There are some things to distract them. At any time you can scatter some food. This is always a good thing.
Sabas has already made a good impression on Jeremy.
He's a very good-looking lad, isn't he? And I'm sure he'll be fine. He's about the ideal match, size and age and everything else. And we just got to let it happen and see how they go. It's down to them now.
This is a great opportunity for Hsiao-Ning to be in her own adult group with Sabas and Miri, but they've still to find out if she's going to make the most of it. First things first, Sabas is encouraged into the neighbouring room to the girls.
That was good. That was good.
Here he can look, but not touch. As soon as Hsiao-Ning realises he's next door, she's up to her old tricks. He's not about to get any come-ons. Sabas isn't sure if he wants to face this angry ape. He's never been away from his mum before. It's fresh territory for all three of them, and Sabas wants to stake his claim.
They're all learning each other, and the first thing everybody wants to be in charge. You know, because this is, you've got to start as you mean to carry on. If you're in my life, you've got to realise, little girl.
They decide to push ahead and let the three apes into the same room. Hsiao-Ning wastes no time in exerting her authority. It's a far cry from her first meeting with Gordon when she just ran away. Miri's keeping well out of her line of fire. But Sabas has no intention of being ruled by this female. Miri decides she's been on the shelf for long enough and ventures into the battlefield. Sabas comes to say hello, but Hsiao-Ning's having none of that budding relationship. At last, Tanya has something to smile about.
I'm very proud of her now she's come out of a blanket. I was a bit like, what is she doing? But now she's come out of a blanket and she's done exactly what she should do. Yes, I can hold my head up now and think, yes, she's done it.
I think Miri's probably got more to give than Hsiao-Ning. I don't think Hsiao-Ning's got anything to give, whereas Miri, I think Miri will work it out. You're a good girl, aren't you?
All Miri gets for her efforts is a good slap, but her steady approach has caught a certain someone's eye.
She's just slow but sure wins the race. And that's typical Orang. Slow but sure wins the race. And Miri was there, oh, just watch this for a while and see how it goes. And now, while Hsiao-Ning's embarrassed herself, Miri thinks, oh, come and have a look at me. I'm not such a bad chap. I'm a nice person.
Hsiao-Ning's furious she's no longer the centre of attention. One thing's for sure, Sabas is going to have his hands full with these two.
Who knows? He might say, I don't like either of you, or whatever. At the moment, he just wants his mum. He's a good boy. He's behaving very well, actually.
Next time on Monkey Life, orangutan Gordon tries to come to terms with his grown-up body.
Right now, we're still having a bit of a problem with the ladies realizing Gordon's inner beauty.
And Jeremy and Lewis bid farewell to Hsiao-Ning.
This whole exercise couldn't have gone better. That's the time to quit. Run away. Quit while you're ahead.